I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and thanks for joining us on our call for Listings to Leads for lenders. If you are a client, please let me know in the chat panel. If you're not and you're just learning, feel free to ask questions at any time. So the thing about Listings to Leads, we've been here for 14 years. Our real focus is helping agents find more contacts, find more buyers and more sellers, so that they can grow their business. If you want to grow your business, you have to talk to more people. We have tools that can help agents on social media. We have great tools that help agents if they have listings. And also we have a lot of great tools if they don't have listings, right? And you don't want to be an agent, a real estate agent, and be dead in the water. With all that, the reason that lenders and title professionals sign up on our platform is to really create a different dialogue with their real estate partners and friends and colleagues in the hope of bringing them a solution that's going to help them grow their business, in return, getting more business from those partners. And so instead of being a lender and calling about today's mortgage rates with 50 other mortgage lenders in the area, you've got a different technology solution that can help those agents grow their business with either more listings, more buyers, and definitely with some social media content that's just going to help them build their brand. I'm going to log into this. That's like the forward or the high level view is. I'm going to log into an account here as a lender, and this is not it. So that you can see what that looks like. And there's only really one slight difference of what a lender account looks like and what a title company looks like. And that is on lenders. Some of the tools are co-branded. So you might see a single property website for a listing, and there will be the agent and their contact information. And then you'll see a single property website for and you'll also see like the preferred financing person, and that would be the mortgage person there. And so when we get into that and we look at it, you'll understand that title professionals don't have that co-branding, but lenders do. Now, I do want to say one thing. There's a lot under the hood of Listings to Leads, and we're going to keep it kind of high level so you get some good, solid things to think about. But when you're introducing this to agents, you might want to use some of the tools. I'm going to show you some that are inside the platform, but also you're going to want to be able to, show agents that there are resources for them. And these resources are available to you too. And one is leadgenwebinars.com, which is where you can sign up for our live classes like today's, and you can go ask your questions as we're live on the call. There's also, every class that we do is recorded. So it's right here on our YouTube channel. And you'll also see calls here for lenders as well. I do, like today's call, there's calls for lenders. So if you want to hear it more often, but my partner, Scott, he's doing a series of trainings that are specific area focused: social media, database mastery, geofarming. And I do a number of calls every week. One is Facebook and Google ads, one is get started, and one is top tools for more listings. And then here you see L2L for lenders. The Facebook and Google is really important to know, because if you want buyers, I cover that. And if you want sellers, I cover that. Obviously, top tools for more listings, it's really focusing on our tools that get you more listings. So let's see here, because I'm feeling stuck on trying to get to the account that I want to. And then there's one last area that is a huge resource, and a lot of our clients really like it, and I'll show it to you. It's on Facebook. It's a private mastermind group. If you're not in the mastermind group, you won't be able to find it. And so I'm going to click on it now. And this is where Scott and I talk about the technology that we're about to push. It's also, let's see here if I can get out of this darn account. There we go. It's also where our clients talk about what's going on, right? So they may have a question, or they may want to be sharing some of the successes. So this is our mastermind group. And I definitely recommend, if you're a client, that you ask our support team to get you in here, and you can invite the agents that you are putting in there. And so there's a question that came up at the beginning of this month, and I think this is a really great thing to say and to share with you. It says, hey, everybody, I signed up for this a few months ago and I haven't done a thing with it. I'm considering canceling, but want to hear some success stories, right? And a number of people jump in and 24 comments, but this one stood out to me, which is I've been a client since 2014 and have produced hundreds of thousands of dollars in my business. It's core to my listing presentation and, in my opinion, the best monthly expense of my business. And we love to hear things like that. The reality is that the Amy Spocks of the realtors are all over, meaning that you can invite agents to use our platform and they may never do a thing with it. And you might invite other agents and they will just tear this thing up and their business will start to grow. Obviously, if you're working with people like Ken and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars using a platform that you're giving to them, you're probably going to have some increased business yourself in referrals from them. So right now I'm logged in as a lender, current lender client. And I just want to show you that the interface is very similar for how an agent would log in. But there is one major difference, and that is that whether you're a title officer or a loan officer, you'll have an agents tab and you can invite agents. And so that's the nature. And once an agent logs in, they're going to look at all the things that we have available for them. So I do want to point out that there's a tab here. The green one here is the place where I think a lot of agents or a lot of lenders feel like, okay, I'm going to add an agent. I know this agent and I'm just going to add their name and email and company name and then add them. And we will send them an intro email. There is an upside and a downside. It's easy. And we do it. We send out an email automatically. But I'm sure your agent colleagues and friends, they're getting hundreds of emails every day, just like you and I are. And so you want to make sure that you're letting them know that they're going to get this. And so we've built out this section here that says invite agents. And I think these are some of the tools to reach out and let people know. There's an ad that you can tell people, even if you don't know them, you can just say, hey, I want to focus on the town that I'm around, and let agents know that I have a solution that can help them. They can get a free account and it's going to help them get buyers and sellers. So you can easily run an ad right here to tell people who you don't know. And then if they respond to the ad, you're going to have their contact information and you can add a free account. Just in case you don't know, the pricing of listings to leads is $150 a month. You can click on lenders and titles. It's the same pricing. It's $150 a month to month, no setup fee for up to 5 agents. And most of our clients start that way, unless they have a big group of agents that they're currently working with. Then they move up to 50 agents a month for $250 a month. Everything is month to month, no setup. And if you want to introduce more people to the platform, a Facebook ad could be pretty interesting. If you have a big following on social media, you can also post a similar looking post for free just by clicking that button to your social media accounts. There's also an e-flyer. So if you have a database or if you have a group of emails of agents that you want to interact with, you can send this to yourself. You could forward it on, you can copy it, and you can blast it out. And basically, this is highlighting some of the key points of the platform, inviting them to have a free account. There are also print flyers. So if you find that you're visiting an office and you want to leave something behind, again, it's got those same kind of invites and a straight landing page that you can use multiple ways. You can share it. You can run ads on Facebook. You can run ads on Google with it. And this is, again, giving some bullet points that are relevant points of listings to leads. And then just asking for a free account, just give us your name and email. And last thing that we've developed is this presentation. And this is really designed for you if you're going to probably go meet a group of agents, right? And you probably want to look at this yourself because it tells at a high level what we're doing. We capture leads, right? With listings to leads. How do we do it? With social media, with your farm, with your seller sphere of influence, and also with your database, right? And then we give you some of the ideas of what we're doing here. And if you click through this presentation, we're actually giving you visual views of what our system looks like. Not too deep because we don't want the conversation to get too in the weeds, but there's a couple testimonials there. And then it gives some of the things that we do regarding e-flyers and print. And so by the end of this presentation, you have a pretty good sense of what we're on about, what we're doing here. All that being said, that's how you engage agents. That's how you introduce it to them. And my recommendation is that when you are going to add an agent, that you've already had a conversation and that you've sent them or they have some sort of idea of the tools that are here. And to that, I want to point out one thing right here on this call. So each of you, as you're logged in, there is a GoToMeeting chat panel. And there's a section called handouts. And I definitely recommend that you open these up. I'm going to open both up right now. There is one for Facebook and Google, and there's another for top tools for more listings. And so I think a lot of agents want to know multiple ways. Are there multiple? What are the ways to get listings in their business? We list them all here. And these are all very effective in working in today's market right now. Also, Facebook and Google are some of the biggest platforms in the country. And a lot of agents know that they want to be effective there. This class covers that. And so giving these two flyers to people would really be in your interest and in their interest. So I think I would probably send those flyers out along with the others that we've given you in this section here, and then get them on and make sure that they'd set up the automation. They go through the setup wizard. And at that point, you can then, once you've gone through the setup, and as soon as an agent logs in, there's a whole setup process. Let's see if I can find it over here. Might not be on this page. There's a whole setup process that they've finished here, so we can't see it. It's basically a wizard asking for your photograph, asking for your logo, asking you to connect your social media accounts and your ad accounts, and just do the basic setup and automation. You definitely want to make sure that if you invited somebody to use our platform, that they have at least turned that on, because that is a very impressive part. The automation that we're doing, it often just blows agents away. Okay. But at that point, you can then say, okay, we've got that. Let's talk in a few days, or maybe you poke around agent or we can go look at that. Or you can ask two important questions. And that is, do you have listings that need buyers right now? Right. And if the answer is yes, their listings are going to be sitting right here, just like I'm looking at right here. And there's actually an ad active for this right now. And so this is telling us this is an active ad for that property. They got one lead. It's reached 77 people. It ends in 7 days. So that ad was actually created today. Sounds like today. But you could then say, hey, agent, if you do have an ad, you can just go right here to the Generate Leads tab on the dashboard and create an ad for any of your listings, just like this. I recommend always leaving it on lead ads. And that's because these leads from Facebook are pre-populated from the profiles, right? And that's important. If you know anything about lead capture, if you present a form online for any topic, mattresses, cars, homes, whatever, and you ask somebody to give you your name, phone number, and email, you're not likely going to get that. That's just the human nature in the internet. But when you're using lead ads, everybody on Facebook has their name, phone number, and email already sitting in their profile. And so when somebody sees that lead or that ad and they click on it, their name, phone number, and email is pre-populated into the form. And that's why our clients really love that kind of activity, that kind of action. You can also make a decision. Do I want to send the lead to myself, or do I want to send it to the agent? And this is because we're logged in as the lender. So the lender has that option. You or the agents, they only have one option. They can run the ad on the listings in their account, and it will reflect their business page. You'll notice it says Mortgage Network Solution. That's the loan officer who has this account. And so in this case, if you're logging in as a title professional or as an agent, as a loan officer, you can run the ad yourself, but the agent, they can only run ads on the listings in their account. and it's going to say sponsored by the agent's business page. Okay. When we're doing this kind of ad, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is click publish. If you want to customize anything, you just click in this box here and you can add more text, right? Maybe you have a new granite kitchen or something special that's not showing on this ad. You could just type it there and that's going to show. I do want to point out, especially if you're working with agents who are in the southern states, a lot of people like to move from cold areas, right? And they want to move down to, I don't know, Texas or Florida or wherever. If you want to reach a different area, you just type in a different location and this ad will be showing up there. The one thing to know is a radius. And a radius is really important if you live in an area where where people might want to drive 30 minutes to see this home, right? So the default setting is 15-mile radius, but we were working with agents and I remember you might have a different reason to have a wider radius. We had a client who has a home in Washington, DC. And I remember talking to her and she said, hey, this home is awesome. It's a $2 million home. I can't remember how to find DC, but there is a way. Anyway. And so I said, if it's a really awesome home and you want everybody to know about it, expand your radius and increase your budget to maybe $100 so that more people see that. When you run a standard ad, which is a $35 ad, probably 2,000 to 3,000 people will see it in that 15-mile radius of wherever the home is, right? And buyer leads on Facebook cost about $3 each. And so if you divide our standard fee or our standard budget, which is $35 by 3, you can expect 11 or 12 ads or leads, right? And that's very simple how that works, right? It's that the average is $3. I don't know where you're all sitting. You might be paying a little more for a buyer lead or a little less. I do want to speak, however, at this point about kind of a fork in the road when it comes to lenders that I've seen and working with. And that is, if you're a newer loan officer and you're getting into the business, you don't have years of experience behind you, you might be working with agents who are also newer to the industry. And so you really want to get hands-on, help them understand how to run ads, help them use the other tools. You're really helping a lot, right? If you're a senior loan officer, like this guy, he's been in it for many years, he knows that agents get distracted all day long. And so holding their hand to keep them inside listings to leads is itself a challenge. So a lot of more senior loan officers will work with agents who have listings. And just like Joe is doing here, he's running ads on the listings, driving the leads back to himself. He's probably more consistent in converting leads because he knows that buyer leads are a good source of loans. Those people are going to need to buy a house. And if they're not pre-qualified, he's going to do that and then reach out to his real estate partner who had the listing and said, hey, this person is qualified for a home for $400,000. Please help them. This does one major thing. It ensures that the loan officer is getting the loan, because it certainly I've heard loan officers say, hey, we got an agent. We've been working with these agents. We've been helping them. I've been doing a lot of work. They get a listing or they get a buyer and they give the loan to somebody else. We really don't have control over that over here at Listings to Leads, but you can see the human nature of what's going on there. And that's why a lot of loan officers, especially ones who've been doing it a while, they work with agents who have listings and they'll run ads themselves, pay for the ads themselves, drive the leads back to them, pre-qualify them, get them ready and hand them over back to the agent. You can already see that your value is rising tremendously, right? It's different for saying, hey, here's a software program that's going to help you do this, that, and the other. And there's another thing, hey, this person is qualified to buy a home. Please help them, right? It's go time. So that's why there is a difference there. But I kind of correlate that to how much experience a person has as a loan officer. As a title officer, you probably have something similar going on, but you're really not looking for loans there. You're looking really to add value. And there's a whole lot to the system to add that value. let's go down and let's look at listings. And this is a little bit of the under the hood kind of uh, technology that we have. And I want to point it out to you so that you know what it is. Because when we click, if you're talking to real estate agents, whether they've been in the industry for 6 months or 6 years or longer, they've heard of many of these tools, right? They might have heard of Facebook ads. They've heard of social media, of course. They've heard of postcards. They might have single property websites and virtual tours from their current company, right? There's a very major difference of our company to all of those companies. And if you've been in the mortgage business for a while, you may remember the company Agent Marketing, which I think turned into something else and then collapsed. And I think a lot of companies create um, marketing tools, and certainly some of the biggest agencies out there have these kinds of tools available. But there's a major difference, and that is that our tools capture leads. We have multiple call to actions built into almost every tool that we have, especially when it comes to listing marketing. And that's the major difference of what everybody has. So if somebody says, "Hey, I've got single property websites or whatever," they don't have the lead capture like this. They don't have lead capture down below. And so down below, we've got a marketing plan and that we capture lead there. We offer a free home value. Even though we know the home is for sale, we apply common sense, which everybody on this call knows. People looking at homes that are for sale often own a home and they're just doing their own research. So we're offering them to get a free home value. They can download PDF guides as long as they give you their contact information, right? So just a lot of ways of capturing leads, right? And that's the major difference of listings to leads from every other marketing company out there. A lot of automated marketing companies, but do they capture any volume of leads? And the answer is typically no. I want to jump on one. I want to go back to one more thing about our Facebook and our Facebook and Instagram ads. This is if people need more, if they need more buyers, it is the number one thing that we recommend doing, right? And I want to show you something. Let's see, we're back here in the Mastermind group of just a good example of why this is the case. This client here, Brian, he's an office client that I set up about a year ago. And so he's pretty diligent about getting leads, getting his agents to use the platform. And so this video that he put in our Mastermind group is him telling his agents, "Hey, this is what's going on. This is what we just did with listings to leads." And I'm going to just boil it down for you. What he says in this video is with that home in Conroe, Texas, he ran ads on Facebook and generated 114 buyer leads with name, email, and phone number. Okay. And the cost of that volume of buyer leads, if you remember, I said it's about $3 a lead. That's about $350. But he got 4 of those leads, 4 of the 114 to purchase a home in Texas. And you can do the math really quickly. I think the commission on 4 homes in Texas is higher than $350. So he's very happy about that. But he's also telling his agents that, "Hey, now that we sold the home, we're running the ad as sold." So you can use the listings to leads to run ads on your listings when they're early stage to get buyers. When they are sold, you can run ads on the very same property. And what he's telling his team here is that in one ad, they were able to convert one of those leads, close an appointment, and they have a listing appointment for a gentleman who wants to sell a home for 400 grand and buy another one for 450. So that's $850,000 in volume from one $50 ad. So he's pretty happy about it. Does that happen with every ad that's run by our agents, by our clients? No, but it does happen many times. We have a lot of clients, as I showed you earlier. This person says he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars of income from our platform. I'm pretty sure Facebook has a lot to do with that. Actually, he said his just sold ads do have a lot to do. And so let's go see if we can talk about that, because I think that having in today's market, especially with the NAR settlement, having listings is going to be more important to many agents. So if you run an ad on a home that is under contract or pending or sold, that's going to help. That the call to action, the whole message is about getting your free home value. So I've got a home here that's pending. Let's look at it as it comes up. And it says, hey, this home is pending, expected to close soon. When it's sold, it affects your home value. Click here to get your home value, right? I think every agent wants to know, how can I get listings? And this is actually, I think, the fastest and the cheapest way of getting listing leads is running it out on Facebook. There is, however, another way of getting listing leads, and it's a little more expensive, but the lead quality is much, much higher. And it's right here. It's called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. I'm going to download it and I'm going to show it to you and explain to you what this is. So where we are right now is that you can help agents run ads on Facebook and get buyer leads and seller leads. What I do want to point out is that this letter gets much higher quality listing leads, seller leads. For lenders, it's co-branded. For title officers, it's not. And it says, hey, a lot of our clients use this letter when they have something just listed, and then they use it, the same letter for the same property when the home is sold. It's always going to say, hey, we just listed a home. In this case, it says it's pending. Go here and check it out. And that single property website will capture a lead. But then we also say, this is going to affect your home value. And click here to get your free home value. And I said, click here because I'm sitting on a computer. But let's remember, that's a piece of paper. So there's no clicking there. It's somebody opened an envelope, read this, walked to their own computer, typed that address in, then gave you their address and their email address to get that value. Not everybody's going to do that. Okay. Now we have a company here. This company here is called Express Copy, and they're a partner, technology partner, where they will download that letter for you. They'll fold it and they'll mail it to people with 6 years or more of equity in a 1 or 2 mile radius. You decide, right? This is the smartest thing you can do with this property. Mail that letter in the neighborhood to people with equity. So we're excited about that partnership with Express Copy because it makes it easy. And we know that our clients like easy, right? They don't like to jump through a bunch of hoops. However, that's a new partnership for us. We've had that partnership for about 2 years. And a lot of our clients are not really even familiar with it. They don't even use it. They do it what I would call the old fashioned way. And they're buying lists from companies like Remind.com, like Redx, listsource.com, and even Cole Resource. And Pat posted this last fall, and this is a really awesome example of what our clients can do with our platform, right? She prints out 100 of these letters every time she has something just listed, and she prints out another every time that she has something just sold. So this is just a templated letter that comes out of our platform. But after she prints them, she flips them over and uses Microsoft Publisher to print on the back. And then she hand folds them and hand writes these right on the paper. So she's not even putting it in an envelope. You'll notice that the red stamp there makes it look like it's really local because it says just sold on Francis Street, right? That is a template that she's using in Microsoft Publisher, right? And what's awesome about that, now you got to ask, why would you do that if Express Copy can do this for me automatically? I just click a couple buttons, I'm done in 10 seconds. Here's the reason why. When she mails the first 100 out, she gets 4 listings. 4 people want to sell their home. This is the second. And I asked her later on, what happened with this? And she said, I have another 4 listings coming from this. So from one house and 200 pieces of mail of handwritten envelopes, she has 8 listings. This is awesome. Again, this doesn't happen every day, but our clients definitely are paying attention and they are handwriting this. And there's actually something I'm going to show you, which blows me away. First of all, if you look for Pat Motley in our mastermind group, you'll notice that she was gracious enough to share the little, whatever you call it, template to make the envelope deal, right? To make that envelope look, that print, it's right here. This is a little plugin for publishers. So she shares that with everybody. Something else just came in the mastermind group, and I'll try not to waste a lot of time here, but really blew me away. I saw it just yesterday and I was like, oh my God. Okay. So there is somebody here who, yeah, right here, who's printing these things. And if you look at them, the letters look handwritten. And so there's a bunch of pages like, what is going on here? Because that's awesome to make it look handwritten. And he says, yeah, I went to Fiverr and found somebody to create that font for me. And that just is automating something that I think is just one of the smartest things I've seen. I got to really shout out to Corey here for sharing that with everybody. The point is, the highest quality listing leads come from a piece of paper, not from a Facebook ad. Okay. You can also run ads on Google, and I definitely recommend that. Let's go over here to the ad section. And Google is the #1 website in the country, if you don't know that. And the highest quality leads come from that. So higher quality than Facebook. The one downside is the cost per lead is definitely higher, but there's an intent there, right? If I'm on Facebook and I'm scrolling through and looking at what my friends are doing over the weekend and what they're eating and where they're on vacation and looking at my grandkids and what they're doing, and you lob up in front of me an ad about an open house, that might hit me right at the right time. However, if I had a question, I wouldn't go to Facebook and say, hey, what's the cost? What would it cost me to sell my home, right? Or what is my home worth? I wouldn't ask that on Facebook. I would ask that on Google. 86% of all questions on the internet are asked on this page first. I need new car tires. Where's a good hotel in New York? Where can I get a good steak today? It's all 86% of the time that question is asked right here. And so if I say, whatever, how do I sell my home? If you run an ad on Google, like I am here, and let's say I'm going to run something on a landing page, but you do have to pay for that. It's basically going to write the ad for you on Google. Okay. And that's key for you, right? Because you can, again, tell your real estate partners, Google is the place to run ads. They're more expensive leads, but you can do that, right? I want to also point out something. This is Joe's account. Joe's a loan officer over in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. And we have a whole landing page section. And Joe created a landing page and ran an ad on it. Let's see if that's going to show us. That's not what I was trying to show you. Yeah. So he said, hey, I've got a free recorded webinar for first-time home buyers. And Joe has a lot of knowledge, so he can do that. If we click here, it's funny, that's because that's the ad. Let's go over here to the landing page section and let's go look at that. So when you create a landing page, or if you want to run ad on any of the PDF guides, you can do that, right? You can create a landing page on whatever topic. So here, if I view it, we can see this is the landing page that Joe created, right? We have a templated system that makes it so easy to create something like this. And after you've done it, you can run an ad on Facebook or on Google. Can you show us how to create one? Yeah. So Joe did what I'm showing you here. We're in the landing page section. We click the green button that says create landing page. And you choose the type. And he created a custom landing page for buyers, just like this. And I'm going to call it, what should I call it? I'm not sure what you would call it, but we're just going to type in the name of a town, right? And it does, once you create it, it's going to knock it out in sort of the template fashion. It's going to give you some direction. So I'll show you the direction. And it's fairly easy to do. Joe created a super nice, clean landing page. And he didn't have us help him. He just clicked the buttons that I'm showing you now, and he knocked this out, right? And when we create a landing page, you're going to want to put like a background picture on it, right? That's going to be key because we're going to put something that's fairly generic. But let me show you some of the things that you can do. Let's give it a second while we're loading up here. I'll have a sip of coffee. Let me click this button too. Let's see what happens when we click that. This is the generic view. This is what it looks like when it's right out of the box. We should get dropped on the editor here. For some reason, it's taking long, so I'm going to just push through. Over here on the left is where you customize it. And right in the middle of the page, it says, click lead form text to update this text. So what does that mean? Right over here, it says lead form text. So if I say first time home buyer or whatever, I can do that. And I will say sign up. And then if I save this, you'll notice that this page gets updated, right? Instantly. You can change the background photograph, and that photograph would maybe have something to do with your local area or some message that you have. I do want to point out that there's a tab here that says custom page content. You could add bullet points. You could snap in a video from YouTube. You could even put in a counter. So maybe there's something like, hey, there's a deadline in mortgage financing. You could put in a counter, and let me just show you. Pretty easy. And put in a headline. Don't wait. And if I save this, it's going to update this page. And you'll notice I have a counter now. It says, don't wait. And so you can do all kinds of things to customize this as long as it's in that left-hand panel there. Once you've made your page the way that you want it, click on marketing tools and get it out there, right? You can run an ad on Facebook. Very easy, right? Actually, you could change this. It's pulling the text from the landing page, but you could click in here and add some more data or call to actions, whatever you want, and then type in your location and click create ad. And that's how you would do that on Facebook, right? I'm going to go over here well, actually, I'm going to jump out of this because Joe is not using our Google software, and I only want to show you that. The Google software, in the past, I would tell people this is really only for listing agents, right? Because I don't know, prior to last month, there are a lot of buyer's agents out there, right? And they were comfortable doing that. But now they may be thinking, I need to have more listings. And so if we go to the ad section here, and what I'm trying to finish or say is, typically I would have told you that only listing agents need Google. And that's because Google is a great place for getting listing leads. I showed you that you can run ads on Facebook and get listing leads, and you can also use the nearby homeowner letter to get listing leads. But also Google is a great place to get listing leads. If I click create a Google ad and I create a landing page ad, and I could be pointing people to my nearby homeowner letter, or I could be creating home value pages. I have one right here. I have a bunch right here. Let's see, where's my one for Memphis? Yeah. So whatever landing page you have in your account, you can drive traffic to it on Google, right? Just like I'm doing right now. We can tell by what you're doing, by what you're pushing there, we can tell what your goal is. And that's why it's easier for you to run these ads in our system than just going directly to Facebook or going directly to Google, right? We only work with real estate clients, right? And title professional. So when you're trying to write an ad, whether it's in Facebook or on Google, we make it super easy. Here, it's a $50 a day budget, 7-day ad. If you click view link, which you don't have to, but just so we know what we're doing here, we're driving people to this Memphis landing page, right? And it's offering a free home value. Right? And so it's in response to the keywords that people are driving. If people type in any of these words, this ad can pop up. I do want to point out, just for your knowledge, we put the daily budget at $50. And that's because Google sets the price per lead, just like Facebook does. But for an ad like this in Dallas, Texas, each lead costs $60. If you have a $50 budget, you're going to get one lead a day, and you're going to have $20 left over. And if you want 2 leads a day and you're sitting in Dallas, you could change that to 60 and you would get 2 leads per day, right? In Western Pennsylvania, these leads cost about $22, in Utah about $17. And so they're different price all over, same kind of ad. The price is really driven by how much competition that you have, right? And so that's why the number is not a static number. And that's why we have an average number. I see questions here. Let's look at that. What if you want to do custom material instead? So Steve, do you have some kind of flyer, or do you have some kind of landing page that you want to do? Do you have a PDF guide online, or do you have a link of where you want to send people to? What do you think, Steve? And so while he's taking time to answer that, I'm going to point us over to a couple of things. So the PDF guides, there are 80 of these. 40 are for buyers and 40 are for sellers. And you can definitely run ads on these. And when you go to run an ad on these, there will be an option for you to upload a custom PDF guide, basically a custom flyer, right? So I'm going to say seller PDF guides. There are 40 for each agent, 40 for homeowners, and 40 for home buyers. So 80 in total. And let's just see if I can, there's a place somewhere. I don't know where the custom one is. We moved it. PDF guides. There is a place, and hopefully it didn't disappear on us, where you can upload your own deal and run an ad on it. So I'm going to just say marketing. I'm going to market this one and see if it goes. So you can see you can run an ad here on Facebook, or you can run an ad here on Google. And there should be a place, I think we moved it, where you can add your own PDF guide. If we go back to the ad section though, there's also, and maybe it's there, you can do custom ads, right? And so if we both on Facebook and on Google, you have the ability to do a custom ad. So let's say you're pointing to a website, right? Let's just do a custom ad on Google. You can put a custom link right here, right? So maybe there's some website where you want people to register or sign up. There is a challenge to this. You see all these data points here, all this like location, you got to type that in. That's normal. Budget here. You need to have your own keywords. When you're using our pre-built content, we have all the keywords. So I hope that you know the keywords that are going to be important for driving that. You might. And so you need to put them there. You also have to have a minimum of 3 headlines. We create 10 for you. And the headlines are these things up here. And Google will rotate those to make sure whatever is the best performing headline, they're going to show. Similarly, you have to write 2 descriptions. Now, because you're doing this custom, we cannot write those for you. If you're using any of our PDF guides, or if you're using a landing page, or if you're using a listing, we know what's in that. We can see the content and we can write that. We can fill all this in for you. So that's the downside. Yes, you can do something. Yeah, you got a landing page. I want to create custom material. Oh, so yeah, okay. Yeah, you can create that landing page, sell your home, and get 2 free Disney passes. Okay. You can totally do that. If you're creating the landing page in our system, right, the way I showed you at a custom, it would probably pull all that information and you would just do it with a landing page. So let me click on create landing page ad. And instead of doing a home value one, you could say, hey, I want to do, there's a place down here somewhere where it's custom landing pages. And I don't think we have one built, but your custom landing pages would be an option. And then it would start to pull up all the text and content that's there. And as I showed you earlier, let me see here. Let me just pull up something a little bit more generic. If it pulls up the landing page and it's showing you the photo, if you don't like the text, you can go down here and maybe modify that text to meet, what you're doing. And that's for Google. And the same is true for Facebook. So that's a little bit about what we do. I do want to remind you, we do have live training every week for agents, and it's always recorded and on this channel here. Let's see if I can send it to you. If you are a client of ours, please make sure, and let's see here. I thought I saw questions here. Yeah. Make sure that you are getting in the mastermind group. I've sent a link to this page right here to everybody. I would definitely recommend that you share this with any agent that you're working with so that they can really get their arms around our platform. Let's go over here. And I want to point out that all the things I've shown you, they're in every different kind of tab, but we're developing a much more simpler way to interface with this. And you definitely want to point people to this page. It's called the dashboard. When you first log in for the very first time, you're going to be dropped on a wizard. Okay. And that wizard's going to say, hey, set up your account, put on your logo, put on your picture, connect your social media. Once that's done, we're always going to drop you right here. And you can make a decision. Do I want buyer leads or do I want seller leads? I'm going to click on seller leads. And every tool, every listing, every asset that's inside this platform that's going to help you get listing leads is teed up and ready for you right here. If you want to create a Facebook ad, it's only going to give you the tools that get you listing leads. If you want to create a Google ad, it's only going to give you the tools that give you listing leads. If you have multiple listings in your account, if they're later stage, like pending or sold, they're going to be sitting right here ready for you to market. Any way that you market a pending or sold ad is going to get you a listing lead. And as I mentioned earlier, there are seller landing pages. There are landing pages to help you get listings. And so you click marketing tools and you're going to be given and teed up all the ways to market those landing. This is a much easier way of getting to all of the tools that are going to help. PDF guides, again, are designed to capture seller leads. How do you market it? You just click marketing tools and all of the options for marketing are sitting right here. It's pretty easy. So if you are using our system and you're trying to introduce agents to it, keep getting them, just get them to log in and get to this dashboard and then ask themselves, do I need buyers or do I need sellers? And everything that will help you get buyers is going to be teed up there, and everything that helps you get sellers is going to be put there. Steve is asking, how do I get in the mastermind group? You go right down here in your account to support, and you say, please get me in the mastermind group. And they'll send you a link and help you get in there. Any other questions? Let's see here. I do want to say this. If you are not a client right now and you go sign up, or even if you don't sign up and you just have questions, you can find me. I'm Vince at Listings to Leads Vince at Listings to Leads. And I'm on the website somewhere, I think under the landing. If we go to lenders, you're going to see this. Start a free trial or contact me. And so you can call me directly or you can email me and I'm happy to answer questions. Yeah, I'm right here. So you can book a call with me as well if you want. Everybody, this call has been recorded. It will be up on our YouTube channel shortly. Thanks for joining me today. And if you have questions, just let me know. Use the support team to get in the mastermind group. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.